It's about that time. More stuff from Aliexpress. Because it's been a minute. There's been some new Clone Trooper stuff on Aliexpress. Thankfully, Aliexpress is one of the only sources that keeps Clone Corner really going. Because Hasbro surely hardly cares about clones. But I also have a robot thing in here. Not necessarily a transformer, but still something that I'm pretty interested in showing off. So how I'm going to do this part one, we're going to unbox one of these things, and then it'll jump cut to my video, my review, and then I'll just open the rest, and you'll watch the other videos. So let's get the first thing out. And right here we have a plastic bag, looking very nice and plasticky. Let's get this whole big bag out of our way, so we don't have that impeding us. So let's rip into this. To hopefully conceal my address that's on the other side. Because I'm not interested in doxing myself, you know? I'd rather not do that. Alright, here is our box. I wonder what we have inside. It's got to be one of the clone things. It's got to be. But one of these clone things is actually pretty new and unique. And I'm very interested to see how it turned out. Is this the unique one, or is this the... Alright, this is more standard goodness. Which I'm very excited about. So, we have some 91st Recon Corps in here. So, we have Commander Neyo, looking very nice. He's missing his shoulder pad and all the stuff that's supposed to be on his back, unfortunately. But other than that, he's looking pretty slick. That definitely doesn't look bad at all. And I justified getting this because if Hasbro does a real Neyo, this guy can just be his buddy that, you know, was also in the movie. And I got two of the standard 91st Recon Corps clones. One is for me and the other is for my brother, because he wants, like, the standard Revenge of the Sith clones in Black Series. And I think we both agreed that this is a pretty iconic, you know, Revenge of the Sith trooper. And hey, it's on the new body, I'm pretty sure, which is very nice. But if you want more details on these, you'll have to stay tuned for the rest of the video, which is going to be right now. Alrighty, here they are. Here is our Black Series-esque Commander Neyo, which looks very good, except for that missing shoulder pad piece. If you don't know, he's supposed to have a little tiny shoulder pad that's kind of poking off of this harness, but they did not include it here, unfortunately. But other than that, you know, he doesn't have the little extra back things, but that's not as big of a deal. I think this looks pretty neat. Can we remove the helmet once again? Oh, looks like we popped the head off. I wonder if it has the... Okay, it has the standard clone head. It doesn't have that shrunken, like, Hot Toys Cody head that the Airborne had. I was kind of curious if it would have that or not. But now that AliExpress and Vale's Toys has this Neyo helmet, I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a Fordo, Yellow Bark Trooper, maybe Clone Assassins from the old Revenge of the Sith game. I would just love to see more with this helmet, especially stuff that I feel like Hasbro would never do. Like, Hasbro would never make the Clone Assassin or that Yellow Bark Trooper. They would never do that. So, yeah, maybe AliExpress will come to the rescue and do that for us. I do think this is a nice-looking Neyo, definitely. And again, if Hasbro does make their own, and I'm sure they will, this will be just a nice, you know, oh, this is the Trooper. Because a lot of the Clone Commanders in Revenge of the Sith looked identical to their troopers. Actually, the only ones that really didn't were Bly, Gree, and Cody. Because Apo looked the same as his troopers. Fire looked the same. And Bakara, there actually are other Bakara-style troopers on Megiddo, if you look very closely. And obviously Neyo had a completely identical... Ooh, there he goes. A completely identical bro with him during Order 66. So yeah, you know, it is kind of cool that some of the commanders do have unique armor and others are just kind of, you know, their own. Moving the joints around still seems to be moving good. You know, AliExpress plastic still feels pretty solid. Not 100% to Hasbro. I still don't feel like it's 100%, but I would say it would pass. It's like 90-95% when it comes to the feel and quality and everything. But I really do appreciate that this is on the 3.0 body, though. I definitely appreciate that. But honestly, the one that I'm probably most excited for is the 91st Recon Trooper. because I've always been a pretty big fan of the 91st Recon troopers, and I think Aliexpress did a pretty good job of replicating the trooper here. He's got all the little logos where they need to be. I don't think it's missing from anywhere. I don't think so. I might bring in a 3 3/4 inch figure just to compare. He still has the same plain white head, and I kind of understand why Aliexpress doesn't worry about that, but I don't know. I feel like, especially for the named characters, since they have done a lot of named ones, it would kind of be neat to have faces. Let's go ahead and give him the rifle. I have so many of these guns from all these Aliexpress clones. So many of them. But yeah, you know, it still poses just as great. This is, like I've said, on the newer body. And I feel like the helmet looks really good too, with it being on the newer body. I will get a little bit closer on these here shortly. But yeah, I'm just genuinely impressed with these. I still think Aliexpress continues to make some pretty solid stuff. This guy actually was sold out for a while. That's why it took me a while to get this, because I didn't want to order Neyo without the 91st Recon. And my brother and I were talking, we were like, man, we wish, you know, I wish it would come back in stock. Oh, me too. And I just randomly checked Aliexpress, and I'm like, oh, they're back in stock. So, even though my brother wasn't 100% certain if he wanted this, I think once he gets it in hand, he'll be happy to have this. Because it's very cool to knock a Revenge of the Sith kind of concept art clone out of the, you know, off the checklist. You know, we have the 442nd, and now we have this one. Now, granted, some people think this guy, like, slightly appeared in the movie, and I think he probably did, but it was very blink and you miss it. He hardly appeared. So, very cool. Let's get a little bit closer on these guys, and then I'll do a couple 3 3/4 inch comparisons. This is definitely a nice looking duo of troopers. I think the helmets look very nice and clean. I think Aliexpress did a great job with the Bark Trooper helmet for sure. Because the Airborne helmet was based off the Purge Trooper from Black Series. But Aliexpress has developed their own ARF Trooper helmet and their own, you know, Bark Trooper helmet here. And I think they look great. And especially this one. I think they did a really great job here. I don't really feel like, you know, the missing shoulder pauldron is a make or break. If it was, I wouldn't have bought this. But I'll probably just display him kind of, you know, a little off to the side so you don't exactly see that. But yeah, you know, he's got the markings very nice and crisp. Just overall looks very nice. And same with this one. I think the paint on the helmet is very nice and crisp. Looks very good. A little bit of a splotch right there, but that's not that big of a deal. Nothing we wouldn't really see on a Hasbro figure, you know? It's not like they don't have paint splotches. Yeah, I really like the look of these. Definitely a fan. But wait, J4, Neyo actually did have a Black Series figure. Technically he did, with this little 3 3/4 inch one. And you can see comparing these Neyos. Number one, this one was very weathered. But also he's got the emblems in the right spot. But you can see what I mean about that little shoulder pauldron. He's supposed to have a little extra one right there, and this figure doesn't have it. He's supposed to have some little extra kit on the back as well, and this one, yet again, unfortunately does not have it. But other than that, I think they did a pretty good job. It's just kind of a shame that it's a bit of a half measure and they didn't fully flesh it out. But still, this is actually one of my favorite uses of the more slender clone body. This just really worked for Neyo. I don't know, something about it. And then, once again, this is an excuse to bring out my canceled trooper, and I still get a lot of people say, oh, I know what your canceled trooper is. It was a Target exclusive, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. That mold does not have an antenna. This mold has an antenna. And this is also not the Aliexpress bootleg because it's made out of like proper plastics and it's a proper 3 3/4 inch clone. But you can see, yeah, he's got the emblem on the bicep, on the thigh, on the torso, and on the helmet right there. Overall, it looks the part. I think they did a good job, and overall I'm very happy that Aliexpress was able to give us these. So what do you think? Do you think Aliexpress is still continuing to make some really nice clone trooper stuff? Because in my opinion, I think they are. These figures are ones that Hasbro has not given us in the first decade of Black Series, and I feel like they'll do a Neyo eventually, especially since we are coming up on the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary, which is crazy to me. But the 91st Recon, I don't see them really making that, man. I don't see them doing this, especially since they stopped doing like Walgreens and GameStop exclusive clones. We've not gotten those in quite some time. So it's I don't know. These would be great Target exclusives, obviously. I mean, this kind of trooper has been a Target exclusive in the past, because, I mean, look at it. I think they'd be good for Target, you know? But hey, you do have the option to order them on AliExpress, and if you are curious how to look up clone troopers on AliExpress, literally just go on AliExpress, type in clone trooper, and the listing with all the Black Series clones. Click on that. That's how you find them. I mean, I might post the link, but I don't really like posting links for things like this because it might not be available and then people click and be disappointed. I don't know. Either way, here's my review of these two. I think they're very, very nice. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.